As William Faulkner put it, the past ain't dead, it ain't even past. Pretty much everything we do and everything we're involved in, from the language we use to the political systems we live under, from the styles of clothing that we wear, all of them have a history. We both make history and are the products of history. Because history is inescapable, it is also necessary to be familiar with it. As Marcus Tullius Cicero put it, to be ignorant of what occurred before you were born is to remain always a child. For what is the worth of human life unless it is woven into the life of our ancestors by the records of history? I'm not throwing quotes at you to show off. Well, not entirely to show off, but to demonstrate that all serious thinkers of the past, recent and ancient, have understood the centrality of history to our existence, for better and for worse. How can someone not be grabbed by this? All really interesting historical events are mysteries of some sort or another. Why did such and such an event happen then? Why not earlier or later? What role in the event do we ascribe to so-and-so? Like the detective, the historian investigates what happened. We turn up clues, trace leads, and recreate, metaphorically speaking, events. We do indeed look at motives, means, and opportunity. We compare and contrast conflicting testimony. The past does not give up its secrets easily. Investigation is the name of the game. While the detective may be dealing with one or more bodies, he usually has the advantage of interrogating living witnesses and suspects. We historians, by contrast, deal almost exclusively with the dead, and yet all our witnesses' testimony needs to be parsed over as thoroughly as the detectives. While detectives may be required to make some of the dead speak, one need look no further than the television show CSI as an example of that, historians are always interrogating the dead, and in that respect we are as much necromancers as detectives. This, I think, however, leads to a temptation that historians need to avoid, the attempt to play prognosticator, soothsayer, or psychic, which is usually part and parcel of the necromancer's role. Think of the most famous of these, the Witch of Endor from the Book of Samuel. As you'll recall, King Samuel visited the worthy woman, demanding she raise the spirit of the late prophet Samuel to tell him how to defeat the Philistines. Alas for Saul, the shade of Samuel, after condemning him for waking from the dead, informed the king that he and his sons would die at the hands of the Philistines in battle on the following day. Consulting with the dead to tell the future is thus a hazardous business, and foretelling the future from the past is equally so. So just as we are not judges, nor are we soothsayers or psychics. This is why I find history so fascinating. Far from being a fable agreed upon, as those unfamiliar with the discipline would have it, history is an open case. The original cold case, if you prefer. There is always the thrill of the investigation. Finally, there are those moments when you're working in the archives and come across a witness, fact, clue, or lead that everyone else has missed. The thrill of that discovery is simply incomparable. That's why I'm an historian.